Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There's the iconic Motorhead with Ace of Spades live on the new special 40th edition anniversary of Ace of Spades box set coming out October 30th. And with us today, we are honored to have Motorhead guitarist Phil Campbell. Welcome to the Revival, Phil.
Hey, thank you, Red. How are you doing?
And we're doing great. It is an honor to have you on the show with us today. And first off, Phil, does it feel like 40 years have passed since the release of Ace of Spades?
Well, it was quite a while ago. I don't think it really, it was quite incomprehensible, really, 40 years. Seems like a while ago, but the music still sounds like if it was written yesterday, on that album.
I always make the comment about how every time I play Ace of Spades on the radio, everybody I talk to says, I always turn that song up. That song has really stood the test of time over the years and is a pretty iconic metal song. Do you have any recollections of the first time you remember playing that and writing that?
Yeah, in the audition for Motorhead, Lem fired his bass up, and it was just like a medium-sized room. It wasn't particularly large, and as soon as he switched on the amp and strummed a chord, I thought, oh God! And then then the first time we went into Ace of Spades, and it was like being on an airplane for the first time, But the energy was fantastic, and we loved playing the song like all the way through our careers. Mm-hmm. I remember Lem said to me a few times, he said, can you imagine if our hit, like our kind of one and only hit song had been a real turkey of a song, and we would have had to play a horrible bloody song all night, every night for all these years. But, luckily Ace of Spades was a brilliant track, and we all used to get off on the energy of it, Lem included. He played it like if he'd just written it every night, So it's a great wake up call every night when we fired into that. It was a great album at the time. It was different. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd call it heavy metal at the time. It was just like quite unique. This Motorhead band kind of appeared. They looked really strange. The iconic album cover. It was tight, it was sloppy, it was frantic. You had a guy that, sounded some guy that singing who couldn't attempting to sing, some people would say. It was just unique and fresh.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of good songs on the record, so. With the new release now, hopefully another generation will also get into it.
I was going to say that, Phil. This release follows the anniversary editions of Overkill and Bomber, and I see a lot of kids and younger generation with their Motorhead T-shirts on and cranking Motorhead. And I remember the last shows of Motorhead that I saw a new generation of Motorhead fans, and it looks like Motorhead's going to live on forever.
Yeah, they used to get younger and younger with us from the early 90s. We found all sorts of people at our shows. We actually had like grandparents bringing their kids on loads of occasions, and they were bringing like 4-year-olds, and and they were getting younger and singing every word. So we always thought that was a great thing for the band,
Exactly. And now I was going through the rundown of what's in this box set, and there's a double album of B-sides, outtakes, and rare tracks called The Good, The Broke, and The Ugly. And I always find it amazing how many unreleased tracks bands have in their so-called vault. Now, I imagine there are many, many more Motorhead songs that still haven't seen the light of day.
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what we got with outtakes and stuff. I'm sure there's quite a fair bit there. It's just going through it all and making sure it's up to scratch and everything, And it takes some time.
I bet it does.
There's also a lot of stuff which there's loads of mistakes on it and stuff. sometimes the mistakes are cool. So you never know. Like, yeah, but we'll keep putting, you know, as long as we can find it, we'll keep putting like quality things out for everyone to listen to. Like, you know.
I also saw that they have a double live album of the Ace Up Your Sleeve tour in the box set. You know, Phil, do you have a lot of fond memories of that tour? I mean, I saw Motorhead a couple of times. I remember the last time I think I saw Motorhead was at the Monsters of Metal tour. And the one thing I always remember about Motorhead, it was you guys just come out and just smack that audience in the face. And I always loved going to see a Motorhead show. But I always wondered, do the artists remember the tours? Or, I mean, does it all just become one big live show?
The tours kind of, they roll into one another, really. You know, some things for various reasons you'll remember. You remember certain nights. You remember a dressing room. And other times, there's nothing there. So I think everyone's individual, you know, and it's just a random thing if you can remember stuff or not. But we used to go and smack the hell out of it every night, you know. We had nothing really fancy, like open the curtains and a bit of feedback, and we'd be straight into it, you know.
Let her fly, yeah.
It was great fun, yeah. It was great fun all the way through.
Now, Phil, what do you think Lemmy would think about all this renewed interest in Motorhead and these box sets?
As long as it's some good stuff on it, you know, he'd be cool with it, you know, and value for money for everyone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of stuff gets in, but it goes under the carpets kind of thing, you know, and forgotten about for years. Some really cool stuff for various reasons, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah.
I just, like I said, I've been a Motorhead fan for a lot of years and seen a lot of shows, and I just don't see today bands that bring it like you guys did for year after year after year when you go out on tour. And you guys played a lot of the smaller markets in the U.S. when you played here, and we're broadcasting here from the Midwest, and people here love good hard rock and metal, and you guys always put on such a great show, and that's quite a legacy to leave.
Yeah, well, Midwest is known worldwide as, you know, one of the bastions of real rock, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they understand where we're coming from, I think, especially in the Midwest. And it was always a pleasure to play there, you know. It was, you know, these places. We had some amazing gigs. Some of our best shows are in the Midwest, you know, and they go sort of unheard of by people on the other coasts.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They didn't know what it, you know, just whoever happened to be at that gig at the night, you know, would just see a stormer of a gig or whatever like that, and it wouldn't be plastered all over the, you know, the national papers the next day or whatever.
Exactly.
But it was always great. We always knew we had to, you know, keep the bar high when we played the Midwest.
Exactly. Now,
you know.
Now, Phil, do you still hear from the Megadeth fans? Do the Megadeth fans still reach out to you and keep in touch with you?
Yeah, we see them. Yeah, we were on a cruise, and yeah, occasionally, not a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, you know.
Well, I just was. Go ahead.
Dave presented me with some award a couple of years ago in London, I think, and obviously he wasn't on the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
But I spoke with the other Dave.
Yeah.
And stuff, and you know, good guys.
Well, you know, I've also been a fan of your solo work too. I like your new solo release coming up with Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. I'm really digging this single that I've been hearing right here on Rock and Metal Revival, "Son of a Gun." Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your new project?
Well, it's not new exactly. We started like about 2 years before Motorhead finished. Actually, we were just having fun, me and my kids, with a great singer, great local singer, doing some cover songs, and just for the hell of it. And when Motorhead sadly finished, we decided to get a bit more serious, and we started writing our own stuff. And we've done stadiums since with Guns N' Roses, and played huge places. And but with the album, we've got 13 brand new songs on the new album coming out now on November the 13th. The album's called We're the Bastards, and I'm really, really over the moon with it. This one, it's a huge, huge sound. Every hit, every chord is massive on it. So you should check that one out.
I'm looking forward to that one coming out. I love the first single, and you, like all the rest of us, having to deal with this global pandemic, Phil, and not being able to actually play out live. Are you looking forward to maybe getting out on the road and seeing some folks in 2021?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not going to go out until it's perfectly safe, for my kids and for all of us. But I'm optimistic. I think once a vaccine is found, I think if everyone takes its vaccine, and and the worst we can get is a few days of flu from it.
Exactly.
If we caught it, then I'll take that. I can cope with that. It's just the severity of people just dropping dead. When live shows do start happening again, the people, the smiles on everyone's faces, the artists and the audiences are going to be like the Joker,
Yeah.
And, I reckon there should be free beer all around for the audiences for the first couple of weeks.
Well, I hope we.
There's nothing any of us can do.
Yeah.
It's totally out of our control. Usually, when something goes out of control, you have ways of trying to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is beyond a joke now. So,
yeah.
We just got to sit tight, and do what we can, and we can still writing music. At least we got this incredible album out. Speaking for myself and my boys, so we hadn't been totally wasted this year.
Exactly. Well, I know there's a lot of people that listen to Rock and Metal Revival that really would love to see you guys come over here and play in North America, especially here in the Midwest. And we got these two releases coming up. We've got the Deluxe Collector's Box Set 40th special 40th anniversary of Ace of Spades, which comes out on the 30th of October. And then also Phil Campbell and the Bastard Son, their album coming out on the 13th of November. So lots of great music coming our way. And Phil, if people want to keep up with you and Motörhead and your solo projects, where's the best place for them to keep up to date with what's going on?
I think the Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, that we have a Facebook page. I've got a Twitter account, and I've got Instagram. The boys, I do my own Twitter, but I don't. I oversee a lot of stuff, but when we're on Nuclear Blast Records, so they can keep you informed as well. Or just type in Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons and see what comes up. I'm sure there's plenty of shit on there.
Yeah, you bet. Well, Phil, we always let the artist who is our guest on the show pick the song out of the interview. Now, you can pick anything from Motörhead or from your solo career. What would you like us to play on the way out of this interview?
Let me think. You can play Freak Show from our first album.
All right.
The Age of Absurdity.
All right, we'll get that on for you. And Phil Campbell, it was a pleasure having you on Rock and Metal Revival.
And you, Red. Yeah, take care. We hope we'll see you in the Midwest sooner rather than later.